right, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the #1 crypto show on Rumble, powered by Solon Global, with your host, George Balloutine, and my special guest, Evan Mann, which I'll get to, but this is your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just stepping into the world of digital assets, we bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital assets. Lance is on a trip, last-minute trip. He couldn't be here, so I got somebody to fill in to help me out. And, you know, he doesn't need an introduction. He was on a few weeks ago, but he deserves it. This is Evan Mann, who him and his partner, Alec Popovic, are educators, content creators, and business partners who've worked together on Web3 since 2021. Also with their colleague, Will Watson, they made Rise Up Media the most trusted source for live crypto education on the internet. They have a reach of over 60,000 live viewers each week through their flagship programs and show, the Rise Up Morning Show and Rise Up After Dark. And they have content where education and everything crypto is in their wheelhouse. And Evan Mann, welcome, my friend. How you doing?
Brother George, man, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm doing great. Had a wonderful time last time we were here. And I don't know if your friends can see, but on my end, thank you for getting the right bumper. I'm using Alex's Zoom because we're at a conference together. I took a quick break. I said, give me your computer, man. I'm going back. I'm going to help George out and say hi to the people over at the Crypto Power Hour.
You're right. Oh, you mean you're talking about the right bumper, the right name?
No, I'm joking. You got it right. On my end, I didn't know if you could see that my Zoom looks like Alex's, because
it could be anybody's Zoom link as long as it's your face.
It could be anybody's. Yeah. I was just more remarking on the fact that we're doing it live. We're at the conference on the ground at the epicenter of crypto action here in Consensus in Toronto right now, and kind of running and gunning. Usually he would do this kind of thing with me. We'd jump on together, but now you just get me. It's like a 50% off deal, you know?
No, not really. I mean, listen, you talk on more faster than Lance, so it's like I'm used to it already. But so why don't you explain to everybody? You're in Canada, right? You're at the CoinDesk. They call it what conference?
Consensus. Yes.
Why don't you explain to everybody what that is real quick, what you guys are doing?
So every year, CoinDesk, which is a journalism organization here in crypto, they do a lot of great media, news content, some podcasts. They produce a conference called Consensus. And for a week, it becomes the epicenter of crypto. And this is an international occasion. It attracts people not just from crypto and not just one sector of crypto, because a lot of these conferences, you know, they're for developers or they're for DeFi or they're for institutions. But this is the ground floor builders, all blockchain ecosystems, Bitcoiners, altcoiners, devs, marketers, as well as the institutions. You know, Coinbase is here, Kraken is here, the venture capitalists are here, Dragonfly, A16Z, and the many institutions who've yet to join us. I'm talking Amazon Web Services is here, Google is here, JP Morgan is here, BlackRock is here, as well as some of the regulators who are shaping policy in our country and around the world. French Hill is here. I think you might have a rep or two from the SEC here. So it's a big deal. And it's a great place to be if you're into crypto, you want to learn, you want to work in the industry, et cetera.
We got the who's who of crypto. Why did they do? I'm curious, why in Canada? Why not the United States?
I'm not entirely sure why they decided to do it in Canada this year. I think in the past, they've had it in Austin, Texas, but they've held events around the world. And I think it's just a matter of trying to appeal to a lot of different audiences. You know, New York is a big epicenter of crypto action. Waterloo is a big epicenter of crypto action. So I think Toronto, as a tech and startup hub, it has a lot of crypto natives and a lot of Web 2, like software people too, business people. Plus the Canadian to like CAD to dollar exchange rate right now. If you're using dollars, you're feeling pretty good about it. You're getting a discount. So I know a lot of people who are happy to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I've been to Canada, Toronto, Montreal. It's a beautiful place. The people are beautiful. I have family there. It's a great place to showcase. So it's nice that they do it different places around the world. But when you see Alex, because he didn't come on and show the love, tell him he's got to go around and find me some good interviews to bring on the show. That's going to be his job. Since he didn't want to come.
I definitely will tell him, man. And they got people left and right lined up. It's like a whole week's worth of meetings packed into a day, every day here. We've been here about 24 hours, but last night we went to a dinner hosted by the Stellar Development Foundation.
Nice.
You know, they power the XLM token, and we got to meet a lot of our friends there. Today we were at Multi-Chain Day, which has people from Polygon, people from Wormhole, people from Stellar, people from Solana. It's like, if you want to be talking to the people who are making the magic happen, it's the place to be. I always tell everybody, listen to a show like this. It's totally free. But if you want to take it to the next level, go to an in-person meetup, because the energy we have here, that you have in your community, in the comments that we have on our show, it's amplified when you're sitting next to each other across the table, breaking bread together. You know how business is done.
Right, exactly.
It's really fun. If you're a crypto user, a lot of the time you feel kind of like a black sheep, you know, walking around your neighborhood saying, hey, do you hold Bitcoin? People look at you like you're crazy. They wonder if it's a scam. But
I know.
People here, you know, they get it. And they're building it together. So it's a very cool place to be.
I was one of those people when Bitcoin came out. I was like, is it a scam? It seems like a scam. Like, it just was out of my wheelhouse. I mean, I guess a lot of people look at it like that. But hey, listen, live and learn. Hopefully we're getting the next one. So you said Polygon. We had Nil from Polygon on last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy. Have to bring him on
I caught
again.
that episode and it sounded great. Neil is great.
Yeah.
And you talk about fast talkers, man. He knows what he knows, and he's got a motor of a mouth.
Yeah, he's well of information too.
But he's also really gifted at making it simple. And what I like about Neil and all the people at Polygon, we partnered with them recently. They are really concerned about the people who've yet to discover crypto and how we can break things down to make it easy for anybody to understand and easier for everybody to use.
That's
safely.
a big thing. So ease of understanding, and especially ease of use with these wallets. And that actually brings us to our segment we're going to talk about. We're talking about all about crypto wallets, safety types, choosing the right one. It's real important, because if you look at, like, last year, 3 billion in crypto was stolen alone due to poorly secured wallets. So you're pretty much, you know, we talked about this. I think we talked about it in our last episode, you guys. Your crypto is only as safe as the wallet you choose, but also according to your knowledge, what you know, because it's easy for a beginner to make mistakes or not secure their wallet. And there's a lot of different avenues that go into this. So I brought a great person on to help explain everything, but it's very critical for anyone in crypto to understand wallets and what they do, your risk, mismanaging funds, the empowerment of taking control of your assets. And we always talk about the less government control. We don't want government control. We want control. So we can go from what's your best wallet to use, whether it's cold storage or not. But Evan, what do you think is the number one mistake that people make when it comes to wallets?
You know, most wallet hacks, first of all, because people are concerned about hacks or compromises, they are due to something that users like you and me do wrong. And it's not necessarily anybody's fault, except that wallets as like a software right now, like a tool, it's hard to use. It's hard to talk about wallets without getting into jargon. And you sign up for something like MetaMask or even get a Coinbase account for the first time, start interacting with crypto, and you encounter a lot of terms you don't know. The process is new and unfamiliar to you. And I just think we have too much like tech and jargon in front of it. You know what I mean? Like, what do I want? I want to buy crypto. I want to do it safely. I want to trade it. I want to transfer it. I want to own it. Like, I don't need all of this seed phrase, private key. It helps to like understand how it works.
Yeah.
But what I'm hopeful for is that the people who are building it are really going to have some wake up calls and start to build simpler stuff. What I kind of thought I would jump into in terms of mistakes people make is the mistake people make that I see most often is they start by asking, what should I buy? Instead of learning how to buy, how to sell, how to turn their crypto back into cash, how to store it, what the difference is between an account at Coinbase and a wallet. And what even is a wallet? I actually want to start with this.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Which is to say, like, brother, the worst word in our space, in my opinion, is wallet. Because what does that make you think? It makes you think of money, where you keep your money.
That's why I brought this. A wallet here's where you got cards in it and stuff, you know.
I got that same one, man. The RFID protector.
Yes, sir. There you go. Dude, you can't scan it.
Right. You can't scan it. You can't steal it. It's great. But it makes you think that word, that's where your crypto lives. And the key thing to remember is your crypto, it doesn't physically exist. Your wallet, what it actually holds is your keys. So on a blockchain, you got two kinds of keys. You've got a public key, which is like your email address or your home address. It's what you share with people that you want to be able to get in touch with you, to send you things like cryptocurrency. You can share this with anybody. And then you have a private key. And your private key is like, George, you ever lived in an apartment that had like a mail room and you got a key to the mailbox kind of thing?
Sir.
You can unlock and send and receive.
Yep.
So your private key is like your key to unlock whatever is in your mailbox, to send something, to take something out. And that's why your private key is for your eyes only. You never share it with anybody. And it is what the blockchain uses to recognize each user as distinct. It doesn't need to know my name, doesn't need to know where I live. It just assigns me a private key. And as long as I'm the only person to use that key, then I am the only person who can send or receive the assets that I'm entitled to. That's all that happens on a blockchain ledger. It's not like there's actually a token somewhere that I can touch or that gets sent. It's just using my key to update the ledger, to reassign stuff. We talked about that last time.
Right.
So
just
understanding
just
that.
to iterate something, hold on. I want to just bring it up because when you said like my key to my mailbox. However, if I lost my physical key to my mailbox, you could probably get another one. But if you lose your keys to your crypto wallets, you're going to lose your wallet. You ain't get, unless you can, most of the time you have like 10 tries. And after that, it wipes out. You lose it. And that's why it's very important either to store that in a secure place where no one can get to it, have it in 2 secure places, but don't ever store it on your computers. You want to store it in a safe. I mean, find a place hidden wall. It doesn't matter, whatever. But you're not going to get another key if you lose it. You lose whatever you have in that wallet. And this is the disconnect with people, especially new people, because, you know, if you have your app, let's say where you have your bank account, you forget your password, you don't know it, you can apply for another password. And that's where you were just brought up in the beginning, how to make it easier, but still keep it secure.
You know, one of the questions I get a lot is, why is it like that? People want to know, why can't we just have a password reset? And the reason is, what we love about blockchain is that it's permissionless, which means I don't have to ask anyone's permission to get my assets. I don't have to trust a bank or a government or a company like Facebook to store the information and give it to me when I call for it. The convenience of that is that I get to do whatever I want with those assets. The inconvenience is if I lose that key, they don't have a backup. However, there are some solutions that I recommend everybody becomes familiar with, because this stuff is a spectrum. It's not one or the other, black or white.
Right.
You know, at Coinbase, if you sign up for an account there or at another, what we call exchange, like Kraken or
Crypto.com,
Crypto.com, what you get is an account. Just like at Facebook, just like at your bank, you have a username and a password that you should keep secure, but they hold on to your private key for you. We call these custodial solutions because they are the custodian of your key. And that way, you know, your crypto's secure with them. It's like using a bank, though. You got to use it according to their terms and conditions. You might have to pay a couple more fees, but you know, they go through a lot of hoops to get the kind of security to be able to offer that service to you. So that's where I recommend a lot of people start. And then they start to explore what's called self-custody wallets. And this is where the question of the day comes in. Which wallet is best? And George, I like to advise people to understand first any wallet, how to use them. You know, get an exchange account at Coinbase or Kraken, then get any kind of self-custody wallet. A lot of them look the same. You might hear Trust Wallet, Coinbase Wallet, MetaMask, Rainbow Wallet, Exodus Wallet, Shaman Wallet. All of these and many others you hear about are reputable. We call them hot wallets. That means they're apps that live on the internet or a website. You get a seed phrase with these wallets. We talked about this on the Crypto Power Hour before and on our show before.
And you can't make up your own seed phrase. It's what they give you. Right. It's different.
They give it to you, and it's generated inside the app on your machine across the internet, but mostly fairly secure. And if you take charge of that, you can own those assets directly. And what I say is just learn how to use that. Learn how to send the tokens you got on an exchange to your wallet, how to send them back, how to turn them into cash. And you're going to find a couple of common problems that a lot of crypto users have dealt with before you. The first one is not every wallet supports every token. So to answer which wallet's best for me, you got to start with knowing, does this wallet support the tokens that I want to hold? Maybe you want to buy XRP. Okay. And so you get a Coinbase account, you buy XRP on Coinbase, and you get a Coinbase wallet. You think, I want to learn self-custody. So I'm going to get the app that Coinbase made to practice self-custody with. I'll send my XRP tokens there. And then you find out, oh, wait a second, Coinbase wallet doesn't support XRP. What the hell? Now I got to go back and I got to look for one that does. So that's where I recommend people start next, is like the wallet that's best for you is the one that has the networks, the tokens that you want to hold. And you can find that on their website or by using a chat GPT and just saying, hey, but what tokens does
that's where people get confused and they get turned off by, because
big time.
If you have to have all these different wallets or go on different exchanges, it's so much, especially for someone that's just learning it, or even people that are older in age that are not tech savvy. It's like, if sometimes even for me, it was difficult, because I'm like, I have to go to this exchange, this wallet. Now you have all these different things and it's crazy. And I always said this when coming into crypto shows, when somebody creates one exchange where you can buy anything you want, any crypto, and one wallet that holds it all, is going to be the king. If that could ever be done.
Your users might like to know, or your users, we don't have users. It makes it sound like addicts. Our friends in the audience might want to know.
Oops. Sorry.
It's okay, brother. I thought you were going to give me the...
No, I hit something by mistake. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I thought you were going to give me that the bumper, the DJ Khaled bumper. Man, I love when you guys do that. That gets me going.
What, the win-win?
Yeah, man. For some reason...
Well, let's give it to you. I'll give it to you.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
That's all you had to say, bro. I got you.
So, okay. So the reason that's such a problem, though, like, that seems like a no-brainer solution. But think about this. Your crypto wallets are like highways for brand new technology that doesn't exist yet. It's like we're at the invention of the car. And every blockchain network, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, they all got slightly different architecture. It's like building a highway system versus a sewer system versus an air traffic control system. They all have different coding languages. And so every time a new blockchain comes out, let's say it's MetaMask wallet or something like that, wants to support tokens on this new blockchain, their developers got to learn the new architecture of this new blockchain, maybe learn a new coding language. They got to update all their code on their wallet, and then they got to make sure there's no bugs, no exploits, and then they got to launch it. The analogy I'd use is it's like trying to put a restaurant in a franchise model. McDonald's took a long time to get everywhere in the world. And if I launch a mom and pop restaurant, it'll be a while before I can write the manual, train the employees, get the architects, get the seed funding to put one in your city, and then to put one in another country.
It's pretty much infrastructure. Yeah, it's not easy. No. So, and it takes time. And if you go too fast, you could mistakes can happen. But you brought up something notable, like with the wallet. There's a myth that all wallets are the same, and you just explained that they're not. And it's just like saying the same thing. Leaving crypto on exchange is just as safe as a wallet. Well, we all know that the Lazarus group, they hacked into, I forget who was it, where they stole that money?
Lazarus hacked Bybit.
And look how much money they stole.
Right. $1.5 billion. And do you know how they did this hack? They hacked what is called a multi-signature wallet. So one kind of wallet that a lot of crypto companies will use is a multi-signature. And they call it a multi-signature because when you move money in your wallet, what you're doing is you're signing a transaction. We talked about this before, with your private key. And your wallet requires one key, one signature. Well, if we want to start a company together, we might have a multi-signature wallet that has 5 keys that we distribute to all of our chief executive officers. And it will require a consensus. Anytime we want to move money, 3 out of 5 people need to sign that transaction. This makes it easier so that if, I don't know, somebody attacks George with a wrench or something, he's not going to be able to give them the Bitcoin. They got to come attack me too, and then they got to get Lance, and they got to get out, you know, that kind of thing. But what happened was Lazarus Group identified the employees who had the keys to this multi-signature wallet. And over time, they targeted them with a variety of disguised permission requests. It wasn't like these employees signed in one day and saw, hey, you're trying to move some money. Do you want to move this or not? It was just like they saw something innocuous, like a browser pop-up that looked like an ad, and the X that they clicked to minimize it actually granted these people permission to get their key. And they compromised 3 out of the 5 keys that this multi-signature wallet, which held Ethereum tokens, had.
So
and they moved it right out.
here's a question, but didn't they also get into people's cold storage wallets through that?
No, they didn't get into any individual user accounts. It was just one cold storage wallet at Bybit. And there has been some concern that, if they can hack Bybit this way, they can hack me this way. But here's the thing to remember is that Bybit custodies billions and billions of dollars in cryptocurrency. George and I, we're doing okay. But we are not on Lazarus's list. And the time it would take to compromise a user like you or me is just not worth it to them. The way it's worth it for them to spend months and months and months to try and compromise Bybit or Coinbase, which are more secure than you and I, but they're bigger targets. So they are going to get attacked more,
Right. But you still always have the small fish that are going after like the more vulnerable people that, that don't know. So that's why we're, telling you need to secure your wallets and the importance of it. But like I always tell people, if you have a cold storage wallet, put it in a Faraday bag. This way there's...
Yeah, totally. Will you define that for your listeners might know, but when my listeners come, some people might not know what that is. What's a Faraday bag?
A Faraday bag, okay, I'll just give you an instance. It's a bag designed to safely stop any transmissions going to a device. So if I put my phone in my bag, that's it. It's dead. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no Bluetooth. The cell phone companies can't even find it.
Yeah.
It's like even airplane, nothing's on it. Like you lose all sight of where that phone, the object is. And it kills all the transmissions coming to it. So nothing's getting into it. So if you had you ever hear of EMP attacks?
Oh yeah.
Totally. So where they take out anything like your cars wouldn't start, your phones go dead, anything that has electronics would go dead, except for like satellites. So actually I have a satellite phone for emergency that I keep in a Faraday bag. Because if we ever get an EMP attack, after that attack's over, I pull it out of my bag, satellites are safe, and I'll still be able to communicate with certain people that are all in this network that we have. So it's put it in a Faraday bag. You can't go wrong. They're not expensive, especially for a wallet. Like you're talking about a cold storage wallet. They're like this big, or like even thumb drives and stuff. Very simple to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing about cold storage wallets is you should never connect them to the internet. Like if you're using a Ledger wallet or a Trezor wallet, these are common ones, Arculus, they'll come with an app that you can use to set up transactions. And then you'll either connect with a wire, like a charging cable from your phone to the Ledger device, or in the case of the Arculus, which is a card, you'll tap it to your phone or computer. They use air gaps to communicate. They don't use Wi-Fi. They use a wired connection, or they use, Bluetooth, radio. You could even do a blockchain transaction with like pencil and paper if you knew the math and could find a way to communicate with radio even. But,
you got me lost in that one, pencil and paper.
We don't have to go into it.
I don't even know what you're talking about with that one, but go ahead.
My point, all this is to take it back to like the number one reason people get hacked is because they personally didn't practice good security. And often it's like clicking a bad link. We talked about this last time on the show. A really common scam that I see a lot in like the XRP community, especially, people get targeted because there's a, what do they say? They'll say the quantum financial system is coming. A lot of people who invest in XRP, they say, hey, it's going to be a new financial system, which primes them for somebody to come along and say, hey, the new financial system, have you heard about the quantum financial system? In fact, there's a quantum financial system coming, and the upgrade is going to happen, and you need to put your assets on this new quantum ledger wallet. It's totally a scam for them to get your seed phrase, get you to click a bad link, get you to sign up and send them something, and then the money is gone.
And you'll see a lot of those scammers too on Telegram. So be careful when you're on Telegram. Yeah. And another one,
any social media in the comments, man.
But Telegram's a lot.
Don't forget.
So prime example, you'll see sometimes some of these not big, but crypto people say they're doing whatever contest, and they're picking the first 10 people that reply. And you can reply and they'll say they'll reach out to you in Telegram. Then you'll have some fake account watching all this, make a fake account of this person, Telegram, reach out to you. All right, I'm picking you. Are you ready to do this? And it'll give you all these things to do. So you got to be careful. Stay away from that crap. But like a lot of things, like you were saying with that, is you ever see people pushing the groups of Nicera Jacera? You know what that is? Yeah, that was
I'm familiar with it.
Those are somewhat, I believe, close what you were just saying in those type of groups, because
I see QFS and Nasara Jacera linked together a lot. And it's interesting because they both have some like root in reality. There was a government policy that mentioned this quantum financial system. There was a old Congress law that mentioned Nasara Jacera years and years and years ago, but it has surfaced again and again by people who will say something like, I'm ex-CIA, or I'm this, or I'm that, or my friend who's a this, or my friend who's a that. And if you just join my group or you click my link, it's usually, you got to stop and ask yourself, like, is somebody using urgency or fear to try and sell me something? If this is true, would I be hearing it from other places? There are just a lot of different questions we can ask ourselves to really stay secure. And like George just said, you always got to verify that the person responding to my comment is the official account, is the official website, those kinds of things before you click any link. And never hesitate to ask a second opinion. Do you guys have like a place that your folks gather here who listen to the Crypto Power Hour, and connect with each other where they do that? In our community, we have a Discord server, and we always say, go to the Discord. If you see something fishy, post about it there, and somebody can give you a second opinion if you're not sure before you click.
Well, they can comment under the show, under the show in a more section. If somebody comments, we automatically get notified, so we can see that and reply. I haven't done Discord. This is I believe this is the 21st episode. So once we get going and actually add more shows, because we're going to be having nationally syndicated radio show coming with millions upon millions of listeners.
No way, man. That's killer.
I can't really talk too much. We're under NDA right now until it's finalized.
NDA,
Yeah, NDA. But that's a little, give you a little tidbit out there to everybody listening.
Okay. Everybody's got the alpha. Yeah, I just, anybody who is trying to learn something like this, where you don't have neighbors who understand it, you're probably the first in your friend group, you're an early adopter. It is good for you to be in a group of people that you can ask questions, you can share what you know, and watch out for scams and stuff. And especially like getting second opinions on wallets, asking someone like George, hey, what kind of cold wallet do you use? And can I see how it works? Or, I saw this one on YouTube. Have you tried it? What do you think about it? Does it hold these tokens? You can go to YouTube, you can go to GPT and ask these questions, but it's just easier to learn having somebody show you.
And I learn more by someone showing me versus someone trying to teach in a classroom. You show me one time and I pick it up. It's just the way my brain works, but everybody's different. But speaking of what wallets do you use? Since you brought it up.
I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you first of all, I use a lot of different wallets because I use a lot of crypto tokens, and I don't advocate that everybody else does. In fact, the more I get into crypto, the less I try to do. Like, I scaled back because it was too overwhelming and too much to keep track of. First wallet I ever had was a Trust wallet. The second wallet I got was MetaMask, and now I have, Trust. I have several Trust wallets, several MetaMask wallets, several Coinbase wallets. I have an account on Coinbase, on Kraken, on Gemini, on KuCoin. I have a Rainbow wallet. I have a wallet for Abstract. I have a wallet for ICP. I have a Cardano wallet. I use a Ledger for cold storage, but I also have tried Arculus and Trezor a little bit. And I think, again, what I would say for people who are just starting, before you branch out and try to buy this token and try to buy this token and try to buy this token, just master those skills of buying, selling, sending, receiving, swapping. And then get one wallet, learn to use it well, and make sure it's the one that supports the tokens you hold.
Yeah,
and it's easy for you to use consistently. Because if it's hard for you,
put $20 in, buy digital coin, play around with it. It's $20. I mean, nobody wants to lose any money, but it's $20. Play with that. Huh? And
the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. And the other hint I would give people is, like, if you're trying to consider cold storage, Alex often says cold storage wallets usually cost between like $50 and $150 probably. And that's a lot of money for some people. And if you're at the point where you've invested more than that in crypto, your next purchase should be a wallet instead of Bitcoin. And just go to YouTube, spend 5 minutes a day, Google cold storage wallets, and write the top 5 down. Go to YouTube and say Ledger wallet tutorial, Trezor wallet tutorial, and watch what it looks like. See if it seems easy for you to understand, and pick the one that looks easy and supports the tokens you hold. And don't be afraid to try more than one. A lot of them have warranties, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and make sure you buy them from the official retailer, because that's the other thing about scams is sometimes scammers will put a bad link out there. Use my Ledger link to get 30% off, and they're selling you like a used device where they've already got the seed phrase written down somewhere. So you put money in there and it's gone.
So there you go. So that's something I mean, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to electronics, I don't buy nothing used, like computers, because especially with computers, because you don't know what the last person was looking through or had on it. And sometimes stuff always stays on a hard drive. So if they're looking at stuff you ain't supposed to be looking at, and then you have this computer and for some reason, whatever, but you can get lots of trouble. And
yeah, I like to buy a lot of my stuff refurbished, but only from certified refurbished sellers, meaning like they have a regulatory compliant process for what they do when they recycle. They recycle the device essentially. You know, you can get a good discount, and a lot of them are extremely well vetted by third parties. Like backmarket.com is one I've used to get iPhones, MacBooks, and all those things that George is talking about. They're real concerns, but I've had the benefit of like their support. If ever I have an issue, is top notch. They are accessible, available, and they'll work with you. I had a computer I got one time from them that came from, I think, Macy's corporate, because I opened it up and it was like, log into your Macy's account. And I was like, whoa, you guys clearly didn't clean this computer well. And they were like, we are so sorry about this. They gave me a credit. They took the computer back. They, sent me a new one, same model. And it was like half the price of a brand new computer, but it functioned exactly the same. Yeah. So, probably not Craigslist, but there are some really good resellers for stuff like that. I wouldn't buy a crypto wallet like that, though.
No,
I would go to their official website and look for
crypto wallets. They range $400 and under, usually, like in that range. I mean, I'm looking
$400. Who's charging $400 for a wallet?
So Ledger Stacks, STAX.
Oh yeah, the touchscreen one. Yeah,
is that what it is? I guess. Then you have
it's more like a smartphone.
Yeah.
The other Ledger devices have tiny screens and little buttons and can be kind of hard to use at first.
Ledger Nano X, it's like $149.
Yeah. That's what I use.
Ledger Nano X, okay.
Yeah, it's like got two buttons. It's got a small screen, and it has an app that you can use on your computer that's easier to use. And I don't mean to scare anybody or intimidate anybody, but like that would be if I was the guy at Ledger, I would update that interface because it's annoying to use,
Yeah. I mean, you could look at tutorials on YouTube and stuff, but actually I don't know what they have biometrics. I know Decent has biometrics on it where it's got a fingerprint sensor on it.
Yeah.
So it should add a layer of security,
I worry about that because the attack I worry about is not like a phishing attack online or some super sophisticated like hacker. I worry about the $5 wrench attack where somebody goes to Home Depot, gets a $5 wrench, comes to my house and whacks me until I tell them what the password is or put my thumbprint on it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just another layer. I think I'm not 100% positive with Decent. If you still... I don't remember. I remember I looked into this. If that just opens it up for you, or it's just another secondary layer. But
sure.
Yeah.
What do you use, brother? What kind of wallets?
I have MetaMask. I'm pulling them up right now. I got the Coinbase one, MetaMask. I also have a Decent it's on my phone right now. I haven't really used it much, but MetaMask is what I'm using because of what we have with Solon Global. Mm-hmm. So I like MetaMask. It's easy to use. It's not like too complicated. But just like then you have all these other exchanges on there. Like you have Coinbase, you have crypto.com. It's just so many. And I can't. That's the one thing I can't stand is because you have all these phrases and like, is this a phrase for this one? Is this the phrase for that one? It's just it's too much. And
you mentioned another thing. You said you got them on your phone. I think it's fine to have what I call social wallets on the phone. But if you have something that's precious to you that you wouldn't want
I don't
lose,
keep it on the phone.
I tell everybody like, if you have the money to get a cold storage wallet, another thing you might do is get a dedicated device, like a Chromebook laptop, a little cheapy, or like an old iPhone or something, Android phone, your secondary phone, and make it your dedicated crypto device when you interact with your cold storage, your Bitcoin for retirement, stuff like that. That is the true most secure way to do it. You don't want to be walking around at a crypto conference, for example, with your Ledger, your Trezor, doing stuff on public Wi-Fi networks on a phone you use every day. You could get SIM swapped. Somebody could, get an RFID scanner, flip something on you.
Don't put your phone on Wi-Fi if you don't have to. If you're at any conference, but another big thing is shut your Bluetooth off.
Yeah, but I just generally wouldn't have.
So I was at a security conference in Arizona. This is about election integrity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, on my phone, something with Bluetooth pops up. I'm like, and I didn't touch it. I just automatically, I shut my phone down.
Yeah.
And a couple other people, there's somebody outside trying to get in and see what's going on. So I just powered off my phones. And actually, they gave us Faraday bags too. So I just happened and I threw it in there. But,
Nice.
you know, people are always going to try. But if you keep it off, but, you know, a secondary phone, just so people know, you don't have to put service to it. A secondary phone, as long as you connect it to the Wi-Fi, you can do what you need to do.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, oh, totally. But
Yeah.
I would be wary of using a public Wi-Fi network
No,
to
I'm
do
saying
an
if you're
important
home,
crypto
like-
transaction.
No,
Yeah.
if you're home and stuff on a secure
yeah.
network. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
totally.
I would, so cold storage wallets, I mean, still looking in to see what I need. I'm not there where I need to have one yet. So I'm taking my time because also I think Solon Global's working with something. So we're waiting to see. I don't have a lot of coin like you.
No, I don't have a lot of coin either. You'd be surprised. What tokens do you have?
Well, first I have Solon Global. I don't know, there's a bunch. I have XRP.
Yeah.
I have Ethereum. I have some Tether. I think Lance holds tokens of crypto for us too. Like we both hold, we separate.
Yeah.
So
Like for the business?
for us, yeah, him and I, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like he'll buy some of this and that, and then like he wanted to mess around like some of the meme coins. And And I told him, I says, so we buy like $20, $50 here and there just to see, you know. But it all depends. I know we have H-bar. Off the top
Do you guys have Bitcoin?
Huh?
Do you have Bitcoin?
I do. Lance don't,
okay.
but I do.
He doesn't have Bitcoin? Why doesn't he have Bitcoin?
He might. I don't know. But I've had Bitcoin for what? Like I don't want to say how many years, but I've had it. Not a lot, but so.
No. I'm not going to ask you how much. I'm just always curious what tokens people hold and what networks they use and stuff like that. And it surprises me how many people don't own Bitcoin, but are in crypto because they want to make money or invest. To me, that's
because,
like,
you know what? I think
building a house without a foundation.
I think it is because people see Bitcoin, and I don't know what, I'm looking on the screen, the price of Bitcoin right now. I think it was like 104,000. And this is what the new beginners, man, I don't got 104,000 to spend. Well, here's the thing, people. It's not like stock. So if a stock is $500, you need $500 to buy that stock.
Yeah.
In crypto, and we're going to take Bitcoin's 104,000. If you just want to invest $100 of your money into Bitcoin, you could do it. And that's the thing. And I think that's where people actually really get confused or just don't know. And that's the beauty of crypto, though, right? Anybody can own
divisible.
Anybody can own Bitcoin. If you got $10, you can buy Bitcoin if you want.
Yeah. For people who don't know, I think you said this in the show before, but it's good to repeat that Bitcoin can be divided up to 100 million times. Like a dollar can be divided 100 times into pennies, but a Bitcoin can be divided into pieces that are 1/100 millionth, like 0.0000001 Bitcoin. So you can buy a couple of cents of Bitcoin. And the reason I advocate for it is Bitcoin or XRP or HBAR, any token you have, it increases in value commensurate with how many tokens you hold. Like if the price of Bitcoin goes up ×2, whether you hold 1 or you hold 10 or you hold half, your tokens also go up in value by 2. You had $10 worth, Bitcoin doubles, now it's $20 worth. The amount of tokens you have doesn't change. Their value does.
Interesting. All right. We're going to take a little break. So I'm not even paying attention to time because it's just me and Evan. And I love when the conversation flows. I got some new tunes for you here.
Oh,
but
hey.
If you can hit the like, follow, subscribe, do that, share this episode. We'll be back in a few minutes after these messages. Don't go nowhere because I don't want to have to send Evan after you guys. He will come.
As an American who keeps up with the real news, you know by now the severity of the economic issues that are plaguing our great nation. My name is Jonathan Rose and I'm the CEO of Genesis Gold Group, the only major faith-driven company in the industry. 2024 is a year full of uncertainties, with trillions of dollars in national debt, inflation impacting your savings, and a pivotal election year. Your peace of mind is more valuable than ever. Now is the time to use physical gold and silver to preserve your hard-earned retirement savings with a gold IRA. Call Genesis Gold Group today. Our team has decades of experience helping folks just like you take their first step on the path to true financial freedom with a gold and silver IRA.
Call Genesis Gold Group today at 1-800-200-GOLD for a no-commitment, informative consultation with one of our experts to find out if we can be a fit for you. Call now at 1-800-200-4653 or visit genesisgoldgroup.com.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. The smart choice for savvy investors and preppers alike. With Silver Prepper Bars, you're ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation. As gold and silver prices continue to surge and top economists predict upcoming shortages, now is the time to secure your precious metals in the form of Prepper Bars. Go to PrepperBar.com now and place your order before supply runs out and prices go up. All payment methods accepted. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at PrepperBar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solon Global, where we break down the wild world of money, crypto markets, and everything in between with your host, George Balloutine, and my special guest, Evan Mann from the Rise Up Morning Show. Rise up.
Rise up, baby.
His partner right now, because he didn't want to come on. I don't know why, but he's supposed to be getting me guests for our show here.
He said they're on the way. He said, don't worry, George. I'm bringing everybody. We meet at consensus. I hope your studio is big enough.
Well, listen, Dan, we can do remotely. Like I got you. You're in Canada right now, so I got you on the show. That's all that matters.
That's right, man. That's right, man. Yeah, we definitely will send some guests your way. I'll send you a list, and you can ask your listeners. I mean, they got the CEO of Ondo out here. They've got people from BlackRock here. They've got folks from everything. I mean, you name it. The only names I didn't see were names at Ripple Lab. They make a lot of conference time. I think they're just tired. You know, they travel a lot. They're working on stuff right now.
They're working. So, yeah, they're going good. So, yeah, give me a list of people that you think you have their information on. It's not what the listeners is. Well, I'm the producers. Nah, we always bring stuff. Yeah. Listen,
I know you guys will bring good stuff.
Having different people, especially from companies with their perspectives and insight, it's always good to have it. People, you always learn something new. The minute you close your mind, you stop learning, you stop growing in life. That's what I say. And it's funny because we were just talking about Bitcoin and bringing up and like how you can break it down and even into pennies. So tell us more.
Hey, man, the number one Bitcoin tip I have, if you're like, you know what, maybe I'll give Bitcoin a second try. I think it's worth your time because if you haven't made the time to understand Bitcoin, why it is a valuable asset or what it did to introduce cryptocurrency to the world. Some people, they say, nah, man, skip Bitcoin, go to XRP. It's going to do a 10X from here. Bitcoin might do a 3X, whatever. Bitcoin is like a tank of water in a world that is a desert. And it will never be refilled over time and everybody wants a drink. It is the surest bet an investor in our space can make. And the tip I wanted to give folks is if you want to try Bitcoin, check out river.com. Okay. River.com, people who buy Bitcoin, they want to know, how do I buy it? River makes it easier than ever. I've been using them since a friend of mine turned me on to them. Not a sponsored thing, but I just love their service. To buy Bitcoin by connecting your bank, you send the same amount of money to River every week, every month, whatever. And then you can buy the same amount of Bitcoin every week, every month, every day. So I have it set up that it pulls a little money from my bank at the start of every week. And every single day, I buy the same amount of Bitcoin. They call this dollar cost averaging. And with Bitcoin or any asset, it's tough to time the top and the bottom. So really, it's proven that the most effective investors just buy consistently over time, whether that's on a weekly schedule, a daily schedule, a yearly schedule, whatever. It reduces their volatility. They get more. And what's important is not how much you've invested, but how long you've invested. You want that compounding interest, baby. And so it takes care of it, automates it for you. And the thing I like about them is automatic, zero fee withdrawals and recurring buys. So you're not going to pay like on Coinbase or like on Moonbase or like your MetaMask wallet, a big fee every time you want to buy it again or send it.
And those fees, they call what? Gas fees, correct? They say it?
Gas fees, but also transaction fees. Like Visa and MasterCard charge a transaction fee.
And they charge a lot.
They do. And on a blockchain, every time you send or receive cryptocurrency, you pay a gas fee, which is like a utility fee that is not like a company trying to take your money. It's just an infrastructure fee that you pay for using crypto that goes to the miners and the validators.
All those nodes going on, keeping the computers and stuff, the blockchain.
It helps them pay for power, and it makes the blockchain work. But then you have companies like Coinbase who, if you want to buy through them, they charge you a fee on top. So River, they're very good. They don't charge a recurring fee. And the website is river, like the river that flows.com. It's a super easy set it and forget it solution. You can set $20 a month from your bank to buy Bitcoin, and I promise you won't regret it. It's a great first step for people who just want to invest and get into cryptocurrency safely. I got it set up so that every month I go in and I just take what I've accumulated, I send it to my cold storage wallet. Totally free. I don't have to think about it hardly ever. And I accumulate plenty of Bitcoin every year. I wish I had more, but I take care of it that way.
You can send me some if you want.
Yeah, exactly. And send it to, write it on the back of a $20 bill.
Yeah, right. I'll give you my wallet address. So, I mean, so now you brought up great points, and we're talking about, crypto now, sending crypto. So actually, when you send and receive cryptocurrency, what are you doing? You're interacting with a blockchain, a decentralized ledger that records all the transactions. But what happens? Like you like to say, what happens under the hood, including what goes wrong?
Under the hood, you're basically interacting with a piece of computer code. Kind of like when you send an email. There's a piece of computer code that knows to match your message to the address that you put in the send field. You put george@gmail.com. It knows to take your message to George's inbox. And blockchain works the same way, except you're not actually sending anything. You're just reassigning the information. That computer code on the back end, when I send George Bitcoin, it is crossing out the Bitcoin under my private keys account.
Right.
And it is adding it to George's private keys account. So Evan used to have 10 Bitcoin. He's going to send one to George, which just means now Evan has 9. Now George has +1.
Right. So each account, each wallet, you get assigned a specific wallet address. And
that's right.
Some people are misunderstood about it. Oh, I can't give somebody my wallet address.
Yeah, but it goes back to what we said before. You got a public address, which is like your email or your home address that you could share like you'd give out a business card.
Right.
And then you got that private key or private address, which is for your eyes only. That's like the key you use to send mail or to take it out of a locked mailbox. And the thing about addresses is because you're interacting with computer code, that's good. It means you don't have to trust an employee at Coinbase or at your bank or at the government to do what they say they're going to do. You don't have to trust them not to make a mistake. It functions the way a calculator does. If you put 2 + 2 and hit equal, it's going to give you 4 every time. And that's the way a smart contract, we say, works. But the problem is if I misspelled George's address and I hit that send button and it's reassigned to a new address, it is irreversible. It is unchangeable. The only way I could get that Bitcoin back if I send it to the wrong address is if the person at that address sends. And if nobody has that address yet, you may not know this, George, or listeners, maybe you do. This is one of my favorite facts about Bitcoin. There are more possible Bitcoin addresses than there are atoms in the observable universe.
Really?
Yeah. So even if every second of every day, every person alive right now just created a new Bitcoin address, we would never run out of Bitcoin addresses for literally billions of years. Like, they are so many that some people sometimes say, well, if I send it to the wrong address, maybe one day I can create a wallet and it'll be the wallet and that money will be there, or somebody will get it someday and they'll send it back to me. No, my friend. You're more likely to be struck by 7 peals of lightning and win the lottery and get eaten by a shark than you are to get Bitcoin you sent to the wrong address back.
So now I want to talk about addresses because you just brought it up. Because so Bitcoin addresses, I believe, are what, like 26 to 35 characters long. So
I actually don't know how many there. I know Ethereum are 42. I can find out real quick. That's a good question.
I had it written down. Yeah. So, well, let's talk about this. What addresses? So, invalid address. If the address is malformed, so for example, like the wrong length, incorrect characters, or fails checks some validation, most wallets will reject the transaction before broadcasting, preventing the loss of funds. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of them will. They have this kind of built in as a fail-safe now. MetaMask, for example, will say, you cannot send funds to this address. It's the wrong format, something like that.
Yeah. So Bitcoin addresses with their checksum to catch typos. So if you enter the invalid address or wrong character, you would likely be flagged by the wallet. So but this is another one: non-existent addresses. If the address is valid in format, but no one has ever generated a private key for it, those funds are effectively lost if you sent it.
Yeah, it's like, imagine you had a storage facility with a locker, like one of those mailboxes, and the Bitcoin code, every time somebody came to the Bitcoin network and said, I want an account, they assigned you a locker and gave you a key. Well, it's like this huge warehouse where right now we've only entered the first room and there are billions and billions and billions of rooms. So when you send it to that wrong address, you send it to a locker that exists. It's just no one's got the key for it yet.
Yeah, no one has it, which is crazy because you would think with all the technology that since nobody has it yet, it should be not valid in that sense until somebody actually puts private keys to it. This is where things can be better put into perspective. I don't know who's doing the coding or who's making all this stuff. Maybe I got to talk to somebody. Maybe Evan could, but I don't think it can be that hard. If an address is no one has private keys assigned to it, should be non-valid. Like nothing should go to it until it's actually activated in that sense, right? Think about it. It's really not activated because no one's using it. No one has private keys to it. So, I mean, there's a terminology they call this burning crypto, I believe. And those funds will get locked forever. But here's the thing. If you send it to that address, right? Here's a question for you, Evan. So if you send it to an address where no one put keys to it yet, let's say somebody gets an address and put keys to it. Are they going to get that crypto then?
They could. It's hypothetically possible.
I might just start buying wallet addresses just to see.
Well, but again, you would have better odds playing the lottery.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
No, I know you're joking, but I just want to drive that home for the listeners because that's a very common question. And I just want them to understand the odds are so astronomical that it is so, you could spend years and years and years doing it. You're better off buying lottery tickets. And the question of why can't they just make a fail-safe like that? That's a good question, George. Yeah. But the reason is what we were talking about earlier. It goes back to decentralization. And we throw that word around a lot, but in this case, it just means the Bitcoin protocol is not governed by anyone. And when you interact with it, it allows anybody to generate an address without permission. And that's why there can be no built-in registry or assignment system. If there was a registry, somebody would have to maintain it or control it. Somebody somewhere would have to have the authority to choose which addresses were assigned in what order. And a compromise in decentralization at that level would open us up to manipulation in some way, in some form, someday. If the person who controlled that ledger was, bribed a little bit.
Yeah.
And we just want it to stay totally bias-free, totally free. That's the cool thing about Bitcoin. It's one of the freest technologies we've ever invented.
So here's another, wrong blockchain, right? So example, if you send crypto to an address meant for a different blockchain, so if you send Bitcoin to Ethereum address, the transaction may fail if the wallet or the network, catches it, the mismatch. But I know I've seen it where sometimes they go through. So, that's it. Funds are most likely lost. And a lot of times if you're bringing something in, like if you use a MetaMask wallet, they'll ask you, are you sure this is on this network? It's like a backup, and then you like think now you second guess. For someone that's new, they're going to start second guessing themselves. Like, wait a minute, because I did it. Like I second guessed myself, but it's almost in a good way because then I went back and triple check to make sure, because nobody wants to lose money like that. It's just something being new.
Well, and even another thing is like you might buy the wrong crypto token. Every crypto token, just like every wallet has a unique address, every crypto token has a unique address. We call it its contract address. This is the piece of computer code that, it outlines how much of a token there is, who can use it, how it can be sent, all those things. And that is, if you want to buy or send or receive crypto, that's the piece of information you need. If you just, go to a search service like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap to look for a cryptocurrency token, or you go to Twitter and you type in, hey, I want to buy this meme coin. Maybe there are 20 different meme coins with the name Pepe. In fact, if you went right now to a decentralized exchange and looked up Pepe, you'd find a bunch of different results on a bunch of different blockchains. But in your mind, you're thinking, no, there's one Pepe that everybody's talking about, everybody's trading. How do I know I got the right one? Well, you'd go to a site like, I don't know what Pepe's website is, but like their official Twitter, and they will have the contract address that is unique, unalterable. What the scammers are relying on is they're hoping you're going to type in Pepe and try to buy the first one you find.
Yeah, because
so what you got to do is find the contract address and search by that.
They'll duplicate the picture. They'll try to make the whatever the symbol
the
and all that
look exactly the same.
So yeah, that's why meme coins. It is what it is, but. It's just you got to do your due diligence. That's
even for bigger coins. I have a friend who understood that you can buy. He learned you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin like we were talking about. He learned you can buy those small units. Those units, for people wondering, they're not called pennies like with dollars. They're called satoshis. A satoshi is the smallest unit of a Bitcoin, and sometimes people refer to those as sats. You might hear crypto people say, "I'm stacking sats," to mean they're buying a little bit of Bitcoin at a time. And he heard that and he was like, "Oh, I should buy some sats." And so in his exchange, he typed in sats, and it turned out there was a token whose little ticker, its abbreviated name, was sats. And he was like, "Got it! I found it." And he swapped for this token and he asked me about it. He said, "Evan, it didn't show up in my wallet." And I said, "Well, let's go look at that transaction." And in the details of the transaction, it had the contract address for the token. And I was like, let's check that contract address. If it was Satoshis, the small unit of Bitcoin, the contract address would be Bitcoin's address. But this was a different address. And we pulled it up on a website called the Blockchain Explorer, which is sort of like, the Google or Wikipedia of all the blockchain transactions. And I could see instantly that this token's contract was different. It was not, in fact, little units of Bitcoin. It was some token altogether different. And I had to explain that to him and let him know, like, hey, brother, here's how you could check that in the future. You look up Bitcoin on CoinGecko or on Twitter or wherever on bitcoin.com and find their unique contract address. And if the token you search for doesn't have that, it's not the one.
Another great point you brought up. So if, let's say, somebody went to, I don't know, Coinbase, one of the sites, crypto.com, let's say, and they wanted to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. Can they do that on that? Or they need to go to...
Yeah.
So
yeah, they can. And one of the advantages of a central exchange is that you can't buy every token that exists.
Right.
You might hear people say centralized exchange. Sometimes they abbreviate it as CEX, like CEX.
Right.
And then you'll hear them talk about decentralized exchanges or DEXs, DEX. And Coinbase is a centralized exchange, which means they have to comply with certain rules and laws.
Correct.
And they only list certain tokens available to you for sale. It's not totally free and permissionless. The Bitcoin on their platform is the real Bitcoin. They're not going to put lookalike fake tokens on their platform. They're going to vet them and weed them out. So
even
alternatively,
to be on their platforms, it costs a lot of money anyway. They can't just come on. So,
well, not necessarily. Sometimes they list tokens for free, depending on if people are trading them. They don't charge every token.
Right. So
a supply of tokens. That is a sort of a problem.
My opinion, for like a beginner, a new person that, let's say, wants to buy Bitcoin, go to like a reputable site. Go to crypto.com or Coinbase instead of going to a different platform where it could be you don't know what you're getting, like what just happened to your friend almost. And that's how you learn. You can always once you learn, you can always buy from different sites. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. So
Sure. But you want to be careful because if you're using a decentralized exchange, it's the Wild West. You can search for any token, buy any token, as long as they have, the code to like support it. Just like wallets, not all exchanges support every kind of token or blockchain network. But, if it's out there on that network that you're using an exchange to access, you get like the black market, so to speak, of tokens. And sometimes you can interact with tokens that are scams, like that you can buy, but you can't sell. Or tokens that when you interact with them to buy them, ask you for extra permissions or are being manipulated by bots to make it look like the price is going up, where the developer has the freedom to make more tokens or to do what's called a rug pull, which is when they alone have permission to reclaim all the tokens or take all the other tokens backing their value out of the pot. I mean, there are a lot of scams and schemes out there. So, it's...
Be careful. Start small, like we always said in the beginning. Take $20, buy digital coin, play around with it. Get it. If you have another friend, send one here, send one back. Just learn the basics.
Yeah.
Before you get into it.
I can't stress enough how important it is that you are hanging out with guys like George, guys like Lance, guys like me and Alex, and gals too, because it's it's an inclusive movement. It doesn't matter how old or young you are. We want you to feel like you can come to a place like this, ask a question in the comments, get a second opinion. And especially if there's something, we go too fast or we need to clarify, George and Lance are really good at slowing stuff down, breaking it apart. And we try to be too.
No, you don't try to be. You guys definitely do it. 100%.
Hey, man, thank you.
That's why we get along. And, where you guys, your characters and where your hearts are pure, because you're not looking to take advantage. You're looking to educate people. You want to educate so people don't make the mistakes and get taken by some of these scammers or... I mean, the worst thing you do is if a person is trying something new and they get scammed, it just turns them off and then they'll stay away from it. We don't want to see that happen. I mean, no, we want you to be, to live right, to learn the crypto, and the most important, do what you want to do. It's your choice.
That's exactly it. Because some people think crypto is about like, I got to get here early. If everybody else comes, then, there's not going to be enough for me. Crypto is one of those few things that it becomes more valuable the more we share it. Like the more people use it, the harder it will be for any government to take it over, for any company to take it over. And the information that makes, like the tech that makes crypto possible for money, that can be used to free other kinds of information. Like, wouldn't it be great if instead of the Social Security Administration having all these records that our elected or appointed officials got access to, if it was a user-owned network the way Bitcoin is, where we could verify IDs without needing for some central authority to have the sole permission to that information, where they could be bribed to sell it, to give it up, to compromise it. Like that sucks that it's designed that way. I think it's a flaw.
That's the thing. Like, so when you still look at like old computer systems and software and whatever, when somebody doesn't, or even like government, when they don't want to, they want to keep that because they want to do nefarious things. And just example, like like Newark Airport by me, they still use floppy disks. Yeah. Did you know that?
Way.
Yeah, they still use who the hell uses floppy disks? That's how old and antiquated the systems are and need to be upgraded. Or if you look at our government systems, computer systems, programs and software, everything, even computers itself, are so old because why? Because a lot of things people won't catch because it's that old. And then other bad actors can do bad things. But when you upgrade it, especially specifically put AI into it, the blockchain into it, you're going to curb all that stuff because it's not going to happen. But your corrupt people won't want that. And that's where the fight is. But listen, I don't want to take too much of your time because I know you're in a big conference in Canada. I don't want your partners yelling at me.
I got to get more guests for you too, man. We're hitting the ground hard, trying to build the future.
I got to tease your partner because he didn't come on. So listen, if I don't bust his chops,
we do.
Then then something's wrong. That's who I am as a person because I like you guys. You guys are great guys. Yeah. So I'm gotta bust Alex's chops. And Alex, I know you're gonna see this episode. You better be looking for nice, good people I can interview and bring on the show, Alex. Telling you,
Alex,
probably watching right now.
Late. Huh? Between the two of us, I said it's already too late. I have become the favorite at the Crypto Power Hour. So Alex, if you want to regain some favor, dude, you need to step it up. You need to book some killer guests.
I'm gonna put him on with Lance when I gotta go. You just stay back. All right, listen.
Yeah, we'll go to Puerto Rico. Have some drinks or something, Yeah,
it's nice. His balcony. You look out the balcony. They're right in the beach. You see the beach. I just said, I go, what? And I asked him, what are you doing? I want to. And he says, I'm like, how come you're not tanned? Because I've been busy doing this. I says, okay, I just want to make sure, because if I see a tan, it means you're not working during the day.
slacking.
I gotta keep on them. All right, give everybody the shame. We call it the shameless plug. Tell them where they can find Evan Mann and his boys. The Rise Up Morning Show. Where you at?
The Rise Up Morning Show lives at theriseupmorningshow.com. You can find all of the links to our official socials there. We stream Monday through Thursday on all your favorite platforms: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. We're not on Rumble yet, but we might have to go over there after our friends have made such a warm introduction for us. You can get us on podcasting platforms and check out the free community I mentioned. We've got a Discord server now. We're building a dedicated website where our global community can gather totally for free to ask questions, get second opinions, share what they know, learn, grow, and we say, rise up together. My friends, the only thing missing is you, and we would love to have you. Check it all out, theriseupmorningshow.com, and let me know that you came from the Crypto Power Hour so I can give you an extra special welcome and a little DJ Khaled, maybe a little for you.
Oh, I thought you were going to play something, but I'm going to play something right now.
No, man, play something for me.
I got to play my alcohol music. But listen, make sure you check out the Rise Up Morning Show with the boys there. Tell them we sent you. You know, share this show. Share it to people. Bring listeners here. If you hit that like button, hit the follow button. If you hit the subscribe button, $5 a month, help support the show. We truly appreciate it. It's Wednesday. We're hump week. We still got a few more days to go. But, a lot of action, a lot of things are going on. Bitcoin came back up to 105,000. XRP is going up. Ethereum even went up, right? Everything's going up. So you guys stay blessed. Stay healthy. Most importantly, stay frosty. We will catch you all on the flip side. See you guys Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. God bless. Here. I like my music.
Yeah.
Later.
Peace.